Hello, welcome to Bua Community Voices, the program Sports Preview, a program where we talk about everything football. In fact, as the season is getting hot, we saw all interesting results that came through courtesy of last week, especially the Premier League. We saw Chelsea, who are World Club Cup champions, struggle. When you see results like that, it just only but reminds you that football is as unpredictable as anything that you can imagine. But that's not all about that. We've heard about transfers happening with Berechese moving on to Arsenal, building the Gunners even stronger to challenge for the title. And they know that it will only work out if they get the best kind of players. Today on this episode, we're talking about the Premier League also, like we always do. What do we do here to make sure that we give you a prediction and a pre-match analysis that will help you win big? So on today's episode, we're talking about the big game coming through. That's for Friday, happening between Westham United and, of course, Chelsea, the London Blues. Of course, they'll be coming into it like a bruised lion, very much wounded after that surprising draw against Crystal Palace. But like I always say, it is not how you feel, but how you were able to express yourself in the field of play that matters. West Ham on their own side, they were on the losing end when they met a very, very strong Sunderland. The Black Cats made sure that they demolished the Hammers in that fixture. So we'll see what it will bring. No fewer than 13 teams remain winless in the Premier League. After match they won. And of course, two of them are meeting at the London Stadium in this one. Welcome to this program, proudly sponsored by Matsbet. It's www.matsbet.ng, a platform with a 100% bonus on your very first deposit. And there's a 300 naira off for grabs just for registering on Matsbet. Yes, you heard me right, 300 naira just for registering. Just log on to www.matsbet.ng and start winning big. MAXBET.ng. And I can also tell you for free that the site is user-friendly and you can get your payout as swift as anything. There is also a cash out system there for you, and you can also get the accumulator bonus, because the more you accumulate, the more chances you start winning at Mansbet. So do well to register. Remember, it's www.mansbet.ng. Do well to tell a friend so you can start winning big, where every day is a payday. My name is Oji Ofia, the double O. I won't be doing this alone. I have seated on my left-hand side, CI Zoro!
My brother, man.
Zoro, good to have you.
Good to have you too.
Just like, what's the best partnership up front in football? A couple of persons would be saying who combines so well. And I think it used to be Xavi and Iniesta in the midfield. But maybe in recent days, okay, we'll find out. I don't know, but if you can drop that in your comment section, let's find out more. I'm just trying to say that myself and Zoro will combine so well to deliver a masterpiece for you as we talk Chelsea going away to play West Ham at the London Stadium. The opening weekend couldn't have gone even much worse for a team like West Ham, losing 3-0 to newcomers Sunderland. And that's leaving them in a very, very tight corner. But then Chelsea beating Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 in the FIFA Club World Cup final, and failing to score even with Liam Delap,
Joe Felix,
Joao Pedro,
and
and even, of course, I use Nicolas Jackson. With even Kobama, who won the player of the tournament in the just concluded tournament. What are we to expect when these two, let me say losers, no? Well, of course, what are we to expect when these two meet?
Chelsea have won their last 3 head-to-heads with West Ham, and aside from that, it was just the opener of the league. It gets dicey for some persons, and then it gets really interesting for some other persons. You used West Ham for an example where they were beating 3-0 for a West Ham that was in the Premier League and the Sunderland that just came into the Premier League. Come on, it's a surprising stuff. And then I think Chelsea at this point is going to have to improve drastically, because if Chelsea deals with a lot of draws, it's not going to be good for them for contenders or as contenders for the league. I think Chelsea has a squad that is vibrant, and I really want to look at the possibilities of making use of what I would presume mistakes from the last time to improve on West Ham. West Ham having been beaten 3-0 shows that they have lapses at their defense, and then Chelsea needs to capitalize on that. And then West Ham, on the other hand, have to have what I would call a brace on that particular defense angle within the midfield down to the defense, just to make sure that they stop the Chelsea attack. Because once the Chelsea attack enforces, it becomes a problem, especially for folks like West Ham that probably does not have a good finisher. So I think everybody between the two has to be mentally and physically ready. In other words, yes.
The Blues, strangely, are opening this campaign with as much as 4 successive derby games, London derbies, and that summarizes it. We know how games are in derbies. Even when you're playing against a team that is not up to it, just the fact that you are city neighbors makes it even tougher because they are all psyched up before the game. Although Chelsea have won a 130 high in such derbies, and that puts them like in a very, very comfortable situation for Enzo Maresca and his guys. But we need to talk about the head-to-head of these two sides,
But before we get to the head-to-head, Graham Potter is on the other end. And then Graham Potter,
former Chelsea coach.
Yes, and Graham Potter has never really won Chelsea on a head-to-head. It's always been about 4 draws, I beg your pardon, and about 3 losses. Right now, it is not going to start now. I feel it's not going to start now. Considering I'm still clinging on their last results. The 3-0 defeat was resounded.
But that could be a spring to probably want to bounce back.
If he does continually that kind of mistake in 3 successive matches, he probably lose that respect he's earning from West Ham at this particular point in time. Talking about Graham Potter, but I see a Graham Potter that will be eager to want to draw a Chelsea match.
Okay, another draw for Chelsea won't be good at all, especially if we look at what happened in the last game. Just a goalless draw. Yeah, it will be good also to also point out that Chelsea have won the last 3 head-to-heads that they've had up against West Ham. But the record away to West Ham has been indifferent across the last 11 of such meetings. When they go to play in the London Stadium, is always not stable, with 3 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses. That's at the London Stadium. So looking at Graham Potter now, wanting to do even more. And, he pointed out the fact that he's yet to beat Chelsea in that one. But let's look at the issues that are around it. West Ham conceding first in 4 of their last 5 Premier League home games. That's conceding first puts you at a disadvantage. And they've not. It's something they need to work on. They've talked about the back line. It's important. And going against a team like Chelsea that have got a very, very huge attack at the moment. Like, what Pedro Neto can do coming in from that end. We know Cole Palmer can just lead from the midfield. And we know that Liam Delap and Joao Pedro will still be expecting their first Premier League goals in their new clubs. The Hammers have won 4 of their last 5 Friday Premier League matches. Does it even work like that?
That's clinging to history again, and then I think it all depends on the technicality
of the night.
You understand? So, just like I said, Chelsea, judging by previous, has had this ability to have what I would call their forward prowess. Now, they have a very strong attack, and then they could actually, make something out of it, unlike West Ham at this particular point in time. So now, but West Ham needs to tighten their back paws, and by their back paws, they need to tighten from their midfield down to their defense, and then of course, just to be able to stop that attack, which is not going to come easy. Now, the technicality is going to determine if history
Will repeat,
will repeat itself.
Okay, let's just start speeding up a bit. Joao Pedro has faced no opponent in his career without ever scoring more than he has done against West Ham. He gone 6 times as a player against West Ham without scoring. 7 of the last 8 club goals arrived before the Alman ball. Talking about not scoring against West Ham, I feel the team you're playing with should also be considered. For Joao Pedro, even with teams that are a bit lower than what West Ham can offer. So I think being with Chelsea, this would probably avail him the opportunity to get on the scoring sheet against the side that he is yet to score against. But let me still tell you that West Ham will be missing a long-time absentee. Talking about Crescencio Somerville, who is out. Of course, Chelsea, they've have a long list of missing players. While Romeo Lavia is one of those who is missing. For all the interesting stories of what this match can bring and what stands for us. Where do you think the pendulum will be swinging now? Like, where do you think the biscuit will crack from?
Basically, I think let me go back a little bit to the statistics where West Ham in their last 8 Premier League games has actually won about 3 of them and lost 4. Now, coming to Chelsea, who has equally managed to draw 3 and lost 6. Now, I feel, back to your question, where the pendulum is going to fall from is only dependent on, just like I said before, and I keep putting the technicality of that particular.
Okay, now, so which team do you think will be winning? According to MaxBet, is 5 odds for a straight win for West Ham. And MaxBet said it's 1.72 odd for Chelsea. That is at the moment. Of course, that terms and conditions apply. The odds are liable to change, but you can just know the within where it is between yesterday and today. Been moving from 4.80 for West Ham to 5.0 in odds. So, which of the teams do you think will carry the day? When we talk about the predictions for this one now?
I think I would rather play safe, but then it's a goal with Chelsea win.
Goal and Chelsea getting a win. Of course, West Ham are struggling under Graham Potter, but they have lost only one of their last 4 home head-to-head against Chelsea. So the Hammers in a double chance market is what some pointers are saying. Double chance is that selection where it's either West Ham win or draw. So you can also go for it. But of course, you head it right from CI0. You can go for a Chelsea win and goal. Yes, both team to score and Chelsea to win as it stands. But that would be a very much high odd. Remember that Chelsea failed to score in the last game and their first in Premier League this season. And of course, West Ham also failed to score, losing 3 goals to nothing to Sunderland. So you can take up that selection and look for a chance to win big on MaxBet. Let me remind you that MaxBet is just available for you. Just after this video, go straight to www.maxbet.ng so you can start winning. Yes, we want you to win, and that's why we'll bring you the good news. Remember that betting in Nigeria is for 18 years and older. Yes, remember to bet responsibly. Bet with your spare money, and the terms and conditions will always apply. Just before we go, which of the central forward, like number 9, if Chelsea should be starting in this game against West Ham?
I think they should, start off with Liam Delap.
Liam Delap?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel they should start off with him and then subsequently,
get him Joao Pedro to come there. Yeah, I think I agree to reasonable extent. Liam Delap is a very physical player. I feel the game with West Ham will always be physical, and we'll see what happens there. Well, this is the much we can take. Thank you very much for being a part of this episode. Remember that the Saturday packed games that will bring in you all of the mighty odds will follow on the next episode. So all you need to do is to stay tight and enjoy. Adios.